First things first, this game sucks. Honestly, a garbage, unplayable game. How come the title says Katana Zero when there are at least 2 katanas in this game, huh? Fix your game, Rito! After Hotline Miami, I've been really itching for some retro, cocaine-sniffing, unforgiving challenge, and I think I have found it at last. In fact, I think this game is on the same level of quality as Hotline Miami. High octane, badass, confusing and rewarding. This is what this game is about. If you're the pristine of an individual such as myself, you might have played or heard about Deadbolt. Honestly, an amazing game on its own, but if you mix it with Hotline Miami, you get this. Where Deadbolt was slow and methodical, Katana Zero is fast and deadly. It reinforces all the weaknesses from these games and delivers a package never before seen that will make you frustrated at first.
Worst game I have ever played!
But at your peak when you are done with
This
it.
is the best game I have ever played.
But let's not get over ourselves here and go from the very beginning.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
The gameplay, if you judge it by your first impression, is nothing to write home about, with you only having 4 moves. You can slash, you can roll, you can throw, and you can slow down time. But you don't have to have a trillion different mechanics and functions for your game to be good. If you polish those mechanics to perfection, you get yourself a masterpiece. You zoom around, slowing time, deflect bullets like a Jedi Knight that is not you and actually cool. You will do Omega Slash, and most importantly, gun. Ishin would be mad right now. But it's not about how the game plays, it's about how it makes you feel. Deflecting a bullet without the slowdown feels like POW! Getting a triple kill from one slash feels like ORRA! And finding that one perfect solution in top-notch speed is like nothing personal, kid. So obviously this game is as unrealistic as it can get. I mean, you play as a guy who watches anime, old school samurai flicks, and wears his katana everywhere, and you are telling me he doesn't look like this? Huh? Come on, Blizzard, step up your game. The thing I really wanted to point out earlier is the sound design, the music, the slashing sounds, the bullet deflection sound, all just melts together, creating this perfect mix of high-speed badassery. Just listen for a bit. Enemies are very well organized together to create what seems like an unbeatable situation, but with Katana Zero, every scenario you get thrown in has a perfect solution waiting for you. You're not really playing a massacre simulator like in Hotline Miami, you're playing a puzzle game your mom plays on her iPad this exact moment. That's why I find a lot of similarities between this game and Deadbolt. You create a perfect route in your head and try to execute it in the same perfect way. You start seeing patterns, you start seeing the ways of cheesing the AI. You become a fucking weeb! I'm sorry, you become an embodiment of an average Yasuo player.
Hasagi! Aserio! Gun! Face the wind! Sorry again, gun!
Even the game suggests that lore-wise, as you are basically calculating the perfect route before you strike, as your dude can literally seize the future, the same way I can seize the future sometimes. The game aesthetic is so breathtaking that I can even ignore the overdone VHS bullshit. The retro-futuristic style works so well with this game. The colors, the music, the visuals, it all looks so cool, so enjoyable to see that even killing an enemy gives you this awesome black effect. The story is on the same level as Hotline Miami, confusing and interesting, telling you all about evil corporations, drugs and violence. Basically an average cyberpunk game. But the game introduces a lot of concepts that I found very interesting. The characters are very one-sided, but in a good way. Ах да, ёб твою мать. You even have this literal Kill la Kill repo flying around. Ha, a woman. Just another myth. But despite all that, the game feels unfinished and you feel cucked out of an ending, because as of today the game kinda just ends on nothing. Sure, you know your backstory, but you don't know anything besides that. Something that an upcoming free DLC will fix, which I am really looking forward to, but right now I just want to know more lore. I will kill sex! Now, I beat both normal and hard versions of the game, and I gotta pay respect to the level design. This one level especially. I died like 100 times on it, but I just kept coming back to beat it again and again, because it is just so cool, with so many ways to win. I love it. Oh my god, guys, can we stop that? I am really getting tired of this. How many times do I have to tell you Pyramid Head is only canon in Silent Hill 2? Stop putting him everywhere and giving him garbage add-ons. Stop, okay? But obviously it wouldn't be a Magic School Bus video without me complaining a bit. But how can we improve the art without criticizing it? The game has some rough edges, which is understandable considering that it was made mostly by one guy, as I understand it. The first problem is elevation. When you need to quickly drop down a platform or quickly go up a platform, you realize just how hard it is to do so, due to some weird slopes on every platform, or the fact that you're one pixel away from being at that sweet spot where you can actually drop down. It wasn't that big of a deal until level way later, when you're constantly supposed to drop down. It made me die all the time on parts where I went downstairs too quickly for no reason or couldn't drop down in time at all. My next complaint is the hard mode. I did enjoy it a lot, especially with the introduction of 2 new enemies that I'm sad were not in the normal mode, but the thing I did not like at all was the fact that the developer really doubled down on the most unfun part of the game, the traps. I always liked the idea of free movement, kinda going with the flow, jumping, sliding, rolling, but the traps limit you very hard in that sense. You are being forced to tiptoe around them, which is very hard considering how finicky the movement in this game is. The turrets are especially a pain, being able to shoot you from miles away with no way to react unless you know it is exactly there, or you know the exact range of it. Also, all the enemies are hacking and can shoot through walls, which really fucked up my thinking process. But don't get me wrong, these things are very minor and can be justified as a skill issue.
It's a skill issue?
Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. These are just some of the things I found really frustrating. Katana Zero is without a doubt a solid masterpiece of a game that pretty much nails everything it's going for. Gameplay, boom. Story, bam. Visuals, boom. Music, good. It's good. That is why I always say, come on guys, let's do the Twitter thing. Come on, ready? Support indie devs. As I said previously, my bar of quality is set very high for any game I play, no matter what it is. A no-name indie game that no one has heard of, a AAA shitshow, or an average game from Steam. Jesus, why are there so many of those? The game has to try really hard to entertain me, and this game from basically one guy can go beyond entertaining me and making me sit in my chair writing a script at 3 in the morning, and this game from a countless team of overworked professionals cannot even come close to making an hour of my time enjoyable, being an equivalent of rubbing a sponge against a dirty plate. Anyway, buy the game, play the game, fund the game, I don't really care. Just don't forget that sex is a lie!